If your day trading strategy doesn't work every day, does that mean that it's a bad strategy? Does it mean that you need to redo your strategy? Today, we're going to discuss kind of what I'm going through right now, the last few days in the market, this choppy market, not getting those bigger moves. I'm holding for bigger moves and I'm missing out on a lot of profit. And we're going to talk about that right here in this video. So make sure you guys stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here. Today, I want to talk about kind of day trading strategies. Does a strategy only work in certain types of markets? Do you need different types of strategies depending on the overall market conditions? If the market's trending, should I, adjust my strategy? If the market's chopping, should I adjust my strategy? One day a strategy of buying the dip and then selling the rip can work. The next day, the market then breaks through that dip area and goes lower and lower. It's so hard to look at a performance of a strategy in terms of the wins, the losses, when you really have, different types of markets in the terms of, you have a sideways market, you have a trending market, you have a choppy market, you might have a big move day where it's just like, no matter what you do, you can't lose. And then a day like today where the market kind of chops around, you get a bigger move, then it chops again, and you're just like, what do I do here? And what's amazing is I ended up getting stopped out on 2 trades, literally at the top of a candle for my break even. So my strategy right now is basically buying 3 contracts and then having a profit target of 10 handles. Once we get to that 10 handle area, I like to take 1 off and maybe 2 off, depending on the setup. And then I put my other contract to break even. What happens when the market pushes back up to break even on the trade? It stops you out and then it moves lower. That's exactly what happened to me today. So the question is, where should I really put my stop at? Maybe you guys can help me out in the comments below. Let me know what you think. At the end of the day, if my stop is break even and I get stopped out for break even on that last contract, and let's say I was up $500 on that contract at one point, we had multiple times a day where I was up like $600, $700, $800 on a trade after already taking a little bit of profit on one of the contracts. So maybe I hit my target, that 10 handles, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna let this ride. I moved my stop to maybe $200 in profit. We're up $700, and then all of a sudden the market reverses, it stops me out and then bounces back and then goes higher. Should I take all 3 contracts off at 10 handles? If my target is 10 handles, should I take all 3 off at 10? I think after today, really kind of looking back and looking at the charts, I'm like, maybe I should have just taken profit on all 3 contracts when we were up 10 handles. Being up $1,500 on a trade is not a bad trade. Problem is, being greedy, wanting more, I end up, letting a winner ride, and then it ends up pulling back. I get stopped out. So let's say I'm up $500 on one contract. I move my stop up to $200 on that contract. Then all of a sudden it pulls back. It stops me out and then it goes higher. And then I'm like, well, what do I do now? Do I FOMO back into it? I think right here is a great example. Okay, say we enter here. We get the breakout over the 98s. We push up here to the 08s, to the 7, 9, whatever area there, to top of that channel. Do I keep holding a winner, right? Do I let the runner run, or do I take all my profit getting that 10 handles? Because I know, number one, we pushed up the top of that channel, we got resistance, and look what happens. This thing pulls back. So if I had a contract at my break even, I'm getting stopped out for break even, and then guess what? The market then moves higher. So, this is kind of choppy action, but again, it's kind of showing if that market pushes up, we're running into resistance, we're running into reasons for this to pull back. Well, then let me take all my profit. 100% take all my profit once we push up and then look for that next opportunity, instead of me to only taking 2 contracts and then getting stopped out for $100 profit on that last contract, or getting stopped out for break even, right? So I really need to make sure if I'm gonna be entering for 3 contracts that I'm taking that full profit and then wait for the next pullback. I can enter then and we can get that next move higher. For the rest of the week, I'm gonna really focus on just putting my target, taking all 3 contracts off at that target, and then we'll wait for a pullback. We can get in. If the market continues to go higher, we'll kind of wait for that pullback, and we'll, obviously we can always adjust the target when depending on resistance, things like that. If I'm entering here at the 700s and I know that that channel is up to the 14s, okay, then I can move, my target a little higher. I don't need it. It doesn't have to be at 10 handles, but I can move it up a little bit higher to that resistance. Same thing here. Let's say you got there at the 700s, it pushes up to the 13s. Do I hold a winner? Do I just keep holding a winner? Well, guess what? This pulls back and then it gets stopped out for break even again. And look, look what happens. From the 700, it pushes to the 16. So again, you know, obviously every setup's gonna be a little bit different, but I really think I need to just start taking all of it off. Take all the profit, get 100%, be done, and then wait for that next setup and jump in again. You know, if we're trending higher, there's no reason that I can't jump in again with those 3 contracts. I think, you know, I'm kind of almost screwing myself in the sense that, like, we get to push up, okay, I take profit on one contract, we pull back, I get stopped out, and then I'm like, well, what do I do now? And I don't end up re-entering. You know, I'd be better off taking 10 handles, take the profit, $1,500. Okay, we pull back. If I think we're going to continue to go higher, I can jump in again with 3 contracts. Because the thing is, if I'm taking profit here with 3 contracts, that's $1,500 of profit. But if I only take profit on one contract, then I hold and I get stopped out, I'm only, you know, walking away with $607. So I'm skewing my overall risk to reward. I'm messing that up. So I really need to focus on just taking that full profit. We'll wait for a pullback and then we'll get that next move. I would say that normally, you know, those targets that get hit because they're overextended. You know, we get that move up, we're overextended, we get that pullback. We get that move up, we're overextended, we get the pullback. So why would I really sit here and hold on to like one contract when I can just take all the contracts off, take the profit, and then, you know, I can double down or triple down and get 3 more contracts on the next pullback and then get that move higher. Obviously, in hindsight, it's always easy to be like, oh, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. But I really do think that the key here is just to take full profit. Take all the profit and then wait for the next pullback, jump in again with same size, and just continue to do this, you know. Get that pop, 10 handles, pull back. Get that pop, 10 handles, pull back. Obviously, like I said, you can adjust that overall profit target depending on the resistance coming up, things like that, though, you know, the way the market's moving. But really, I think the best thing for me to do is just take full profit and get that pullback, jump in again. If I think there's a valid trade to go higher, if we're getting that retest, jump in again, and then get that move up again, right? Like, there's no problem with that. So that's going to be my plan from now on, and hopefully that works out a little bit better. And we'll see what happens. If you guys haven't already tuned in, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, we're live right here on YouTube. I'll talk to you guys later on.
Yeah.